Now, March 2021, this is the newest season of Walleye World Podcast. And hey, we're part of Lake St. Clair Walleye Association. And there's a lot of great things going on here. So I got one of my fellow friends, Jeff VanTorre.
Yep.
He's a board member on the LSCWA. We've got a lot of things coming in the fall. And basically, it's kind of been like a cold winter for a year. In fact, we haven't really met in person because of local regulations with COVID and stuff. And I'm sure all of you know how that goes. But we're getting ready to transition to a season where we're doing some limited in-person stuff and get more people involved and kind of get that camaraderie back. So a couple of the things we want to talk about this spring. I mean, obviously we have fall fishing coming up here. I thought I'd get Jeff on to talk a little bit about our tournament that we have coming up here, some of the exciting things that we have going on spring, transitioning the summer with our derby season. And this is just a good time to kind of catch up and get what's going on in the community here. So we're in Southeast Michigan. You may be in a totally different area, but I guarantee if you listen, you can learn something different that you can apply to your local fishery wherever you are. So this is Walleye World Podcast. I have Jeff VanTorre on the line. How you doing, buddy?
Good. How you doing, man? Thanks for having me on, Rob. I enjoy the
great.
podcast, and you do a great job with everything, man. So I appreciate you going, spending your time doing this for everybody.
Thanks, brother. So what's going on in your world? It's kind of been like an off season. I know the boat's been winterized and put away here. What have you been doing to kind of tool up for your season coming up here in 2021?
Yeah, man. 2020 season was kind of long. We had that first fall derby for the club. Went over very well. We fished all until December. I mean, we were out fishing at fall derby, and I was looking at the Christmas lights at nighttime in Grosse Pointe. It was great.
So cool.
And after that, I dropped the boat off over at Rose Marine and got her winterized and was all gung-ho for ice fishing season. And I got out on the ice one time with the snowmobile up in Saginaw Bay like 2 weeks ago. And then we got to warm up this last week, and it's crazy how fast that ice is melting. And I've seen people out on the St. Clair River already jigging. I've heard people down in Lake Erie already fishing in their boat. So this warm weather is approaching fast. I know everybody's got the itch to get on the river, do some jigging. And I'm just looking forward to getting the boat out and fishing some events in 2021 this year. It's just been a long winter for everybody. And we, with that, how you said everything's been cold, we haven't had an in-person meeting. Man, it's got to be since, I would say fall, October, maybe. So we had them outside, and then the weather just kind of got real cold, and the regulations came down, and we didn't have any in-person meetings all the way up until last month. So it's crazy. I can't wait to get back to in-person meetings and seeing everybody and learning new things with the club and having the seminar speakers come back and all that good stuff. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And obviously, hey, if you're coming to any of these things to check out LSCWA, we are abiding by local regulations. So social distancing, people wearing masks, no one's being stupid. And if someone is, say something. But our events are limited to 50 people, which is the current regulation for the state of Michigan. Just caveats, just got to throw that out there. But we should be able to post some of this stuff to help people learn. So myself, Jeff, anybody in the club, no one's better than anyone. We're just here to help each other learn. It's not a platform for like one guy or another to project how great they are. We want to get people involved. If you actually get to know some of these people, we're about helping other people grow as anglers. And, it's competition. All of us have some competitive drive to us if we're fishing tournaments or derbies and stuff, but the big thing is getting people involved in the camaraderie around that. So we're trying to bring that back with what we have going on this season. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to kind of cover here from club business standpoint. And, hey, you might not be part of LSCWA, but let's talk a little bit about some things that we have going on this spring. So Jeff, if you want to tee us off with some of the things we have going on, I'm all ears.
Well, I'll start with the meeting we just had in February. It was our first in-person meeting, like we talked about briefly. We're limited to 50 people, and we were close to reaching that limit at our first in-person meeting in a very long time. We just went on with everything. We had our full merchandise spread there. What was really neat about that meeting, that coming back meeting, is that we did something a little bit different for the May Madness event this year. Usually in February, at that meeting, we have a sign-up party for the May Madness tournament. And this year we did something different. We raffled off boats number 1 and boats number 2 for $5 a ticket. And all the money that we raised for that went back into the event. So, which is really good to help boost that money up as like a sponsor money for the prize pool. And then what we also did was we took envelopes with a number in there. And then everybody that was there for the tournament, they got to come in a single file line up to the bingo roller. We mixed everything up and they picked the card out, and that was their boat number for the tournament. So if you came to the meeting, you got your early boat number, you went to go on a website and early registration code, put your early registration code in there, and that was your boat number before we open it up to the public. And right now we're sitting at just just over 40 signups for the May Madness event this year. So I mean, last year we couldn't have it. We waited, we held it off till June. It was going to be June Madness, whatever, and we couldn't have it. It was a bummer. We let it go. We had to skip it, and we had 100 boats. We had 100 boats ready to go, and that's the most boats that we've ever had for this tournament. It's awesome how this event has grown. So, but with that being said, we'll talk about that later. I want to talk about the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association and their monthly meetings, what we have going on with that. So in March, we're gonna once again we're gonna have a face-to-face meeting, and we're gonna have our seminars come back to the monthly meetings. And my good friend there, Rob Barnes, is going to be the speaker for the March general membership meeting for the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So I haven't given a seminar in a minute. The last one I gave was on inland walleye fishing, and I do that because I'm kind of I joke, but I'm an outsider. I'm about maybe an hour away from Lake St. Clair. I'm in Lake Orion, but I fish Lake St. Clair a ton. I grew up fishing Lake St. Clair, and what I'm going to be talking about is how to properly set up planer boards, different factors, and setting up walleye sets for trolling. Particularly, I'm going to talk early spring fishing, but we'll also talk stuff for summer spinner fishing, a couple little tricks that I have brewing in my mind. I'm going to talk about storm oil. So if you're there, you're going to learn about storm oil and how to apply it to planer boards. So different little things to kind of get people thinking. After the seminar, we're going to have a session where if people need to have their boards tuned, or you have damaged parts like those tow arms or the styrofoam on the back, several of us will have our repair kits, because a couple of us are part of the Offshore Tackle Pro team, and we'll definitely help out fixing anything, replacing any parts if we have it. And we just want to make sure that people's boards are ready for spring once the ice melts and we can fish. So I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be a good time, and I think everyone can learn something, including me. I love questions and I love engaging the audience, so it'll be a lot of fun. In terms of what we do as a club, I mean, we meet together, we learn together as a group, we compete together in derbies, and then also we're very conservation minded. And what I mean by that is that the club itself donates to conservation efforts such as like a kids camp through the Michigan United Conservation Clubs. In the past, we've raised DNR's fries for walleye that get planted in these inland lakes, and that's why I'm pretty passionate about fishing these inland walleye lakes in southeast Michigan and the other areas that they plant these fry. So the club is something special. The reason I've been on the board for 2 terms is because we give back to the community. We help support the fisheries in terms of supporting reproduction of these walleye fry to get into the other inland lakes. And we've done things with Michigan Walleye. I almost said Michigan Walleye Tour. Got that on the mind too, kind of. But
yes, sir.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of really great opportunities for the club to give back to our local community in the area and help out with conservation. So, I mean, if you want to find a place to help people get involved in the outdoors and connected with other like-minded people, LSCWA is a great way to do that. I kind of want to talk a little bit more about May Madness, Jeff. But I think one of the most important things is that this tournament isn't about, I mean, everyone's competitive. You're fishing a tournament, you're trying to get the edge, and, you fish for hopefully cash in a check or maybe some hardware if you're finishing toward the top. But every time you fish a competitive event, it's a learning opportunity. And what I mean by that is you can stay after, talk to people that do well. And for the most part, unless they're super secretive, you can get some information and learn how to become a better fisherman. At these club meetings, if you talk to people, for the most part, they'll be pretty open. I mean, people will be quiet and they'll hold their best secrets. But if you want to learn general things to put fish in the boat, they're going to help you out. So, Jeff, tell us a little bit about May Madness, how it kind of got started, and where it's going from here.
May Madness is, as I like to call it, is the premier walleye tournament on Lake St. Clair. It started in 2015, and I believe the first event we only had 18 boats. It was kind of put together because there was really nothing that showcased the walleye fishery in Lake St. Clair. So we came up with the idea of having May Madness, and we call it May Madness is because in May it's crazy out there as far as you can get a mixed bag of anything. You can get, good smallmouth, good muskie. You can catch phenomenal walleye. And so it's just like madness, May Madness thing came around. So this year's event is going to be our 7th year, but our 6th event, because of last year we had to cancel the event. So everything's still going strong. This year it's first place is guaranteed at $10,000. It's going to pay out 2nd through 11th place if we have 75 boats. The date is May 22nd, 2021. $225 for the entry fee. The $25 goes right to the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association rearing ponds, as Rob was talking about, so we can help raise these walleyes and spread them throughout Michigan and the inland lakes. The launch site is going to be at Harley Ensign for the locals in South River Road. You're going to weigh your best 6 walleyes. The boundaries for this event is the northern tip of Russell Island, all the way to the Ambassador Bridge. Both sides, U.S. and Canadian, if we're allowed to fish Canadian waters.
Right.
If we're not allowed to fish Canadian waters, it's going to be U.S. waters only. Captain's meeting is going to be the night before, Friday at 7 o'clock, locations to be determined.
Mm-hmm.
And there's an optional big fish pot of $25. Right now in that big fish pot, Dick Huvars, which has been an outstanding sponsor of this event since it started, has put in $250 guaranteed for the big fish pot, along with a longtime sponsor, Mechanical System Services, is kicked in another $500 for this big fish pot. So we're sitting at $750 right now in the big fish pot without any anglers getting in there whatsoever.
Dang.
So it's going to make it fun. I mean, this tournament was built just to have fun. I want the families out there. I want the father and the son, or the father and the daughter, to go out there. You don't need a giant rig to fish this tournament. As we all know, you can go right around the corner and you can catch a winning bag of walleyes. It's been done before.
Yep.
You don't have to make those long runs, but if you can, I would suggest it. But I mean, you don't have to. So it's just great to see the families come out. It's great to see the youth come out there and participate and see what's going on at the weigh-in. We put a big spread on. We have the food, we have the radio station, we have our awesome derby trailer with the weigh-in and the PA system going, and everybody really enjoys themselves when they come to this tournament. And it's growing every year. Like I said, last year we had 100 boats. That's crazy. I could never imagine this event having 100 boats, on Lake St. Clair. It's awesome, and guys talk about it all the time. So, I'm very thankful that, that we get to put this on. I'm thankful that we have great volunteers to help with this. And I'm very, very thankful of all the sponsors we have every year that can't wait to help this event grow each and every year. So, yeah, I can't wait for 2021 May Madness. It's going to be here before we know it. I mean, it's already March 1st. So, soon, it'll be here soon.
We'll blink and it'll be here. So a couple things that come to mind while Jeff was talking is that, the event size is originally set for 75, and our payouts that we publish are based on 75 boats. However, we will run the event all the way up to 100 boats.
Yes.
Then after that, we're going to cap things off. If you have questions regarding the rules, or you want to take a look at the registration form, maybe you're undecided, go ahead and go on our Facebook page, or you can check out our club website. You can click the May Madness logo. On there is the sign up. You can put all your info, up to 3 guys on a team.
Yep.
We got t-shirts that we normally custom make that features the May Madness logo and some of our supporting sponsors. The rules are on there. If you read there, you got to click a box. Yes, I read it. Without reading and agreeing to the rules, you can't participate. It is on there.
Yeah.
Click the link. I promise you. Captain's
Yes,
meeting
sir.
information is on there as well. And I highly encourage you to check it out. It's a lot of fun. I mean, for $225, you really do have a shot at getting some good guaranteed money. It's not always about the money. It's about the camaraderie and having fun. Hey, man, and if you stick a pig, which is very possible, I mean, you're looking at guaranteed money in the pot before anglers even put in. So one big fish could cash you quite a bit of money. So I'm excited for it. And I think this year will be bigger and better. I feel like everyone was kind of down with a rough season. I feel like May Madness 2020 was won by Gretchen, but 2021 we're going to make it bigger, and I think everyone's going to win.
And you know what? I know people are itching too, because last year, for even what was going on last year with everything, our derbies, it's the most, since I've been in the club, that's the most I've ever seen participate in our derbies.
Absolutely.
It was insane. You know, we couldn't fish April Derby because we were all locked down, but May we went back out to Anglers Point, and they're a great host. And I never seen the board like the divisions. I mean, it was all the way down to the very bottom. It was crazy. Eric Gabriel, club member, took his daughter out there. She caught a 29.5-inch walleye. I mean, the
That was
smile
in
on
May,
her
right?
face. Yeah, that was in May. Yeah. I mean, the smile on her face was awesome. She couldn't wait to bring the thing and show it off. You know, it was great.
And
And
that was USA.
everybody just had a good time. Sailors, yep. So, I mean, like I said, you don't have to go far to get good fish in that lake. It's we've seen that this fall, you know. So, I'm really looking forward to our club derbies too, man. And just, you know, it's not. You're right, man. It's not all about cash and check. It's not all about the money. It's all about learning. It's all about the camaraderie. It's all about, you know, talking with your buddies and seeing all your tournament, you know, seeing all your friends during these tournaments and stuff. That's the way I look at it. I care less if I come in last place. I come in last place. I'm going to take something away from it. I'm going to have a good time doing it. I'm going to make some memories, and that's, you know, it's worth $225 or whatever the entrance fee is to a tournament. You can't put a price tag on a memory, man.
Absolutely. So, hey, I want to talk about derbies. We're as a board, we talked about what our derby schedule is going to look like, and let me explain what derbies are. So, derbies are for club members, and it's a way for us to compete against each other. We're not competing for money. We're not competing for any sort of prize package, although there are some prizes for members that show up and weigh a fish. Derbies is a way for our anglers to compete against each other, share knowledge, and just have fun. And there's several divisions. There's a open division, a masters division, there's a kids division, and then there's Super Six, which is kind of like the biggest six fish that you put in there. And we have different locations where we do these weigh-ins through our primary derby season, which occurs spring through summer. After that, we've kind of kicked off another fall series, which is something a little bit different. It doesn't count towards points for the primary derby system. It's just another way for us to get more involved and enjoy the fall fishing on the lake and in the rivers. So with that said, Jeff, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about what the derby season is going to look like. And I think you have a schedule for us to kick off things.
I do. We have a schedule for the 2021 LSWA derbies, and starts in April, ends in August. August is our big Lake St. Clair Classic. It's at Metro, the day sale at Metro Beach. So first event is going to be April 23rd to the 25th. It's going to be at a sponsoring bait shop, Lakeside Tackle Shop. May 21st to the 23rd, it's going to be at Anglers Point. June 18th through the 20th, it's going to be back at Lakeside Fishing Shop. July 23rd through 25th, it's going to be at the American Legion Hall, post number 4. That's where we have our monthly meetings at. Yep. And Rumor on the Street, that's going to be a weigh-in along with a fish fry.
Sweet.
August 20th through the 22nd is at the Metro Day Sale. Like I said, it's dubbed the Lake St. Clair Classic now. That is by far my favorite derby event of the whole year. I mean, we have the spread out there. We have, you know, the potluck or the barbecue. We have the raffles. That's where our trolling motor gets raffled off. That's everybody's out there. We have the blind draw. I like the blind draw. I think that's pretty fun. And yeah, I mean, if you're a member of the club and your dues are up, make sure your dues are all paid before these derbies so you can participate in these. I like it. I like how we go to the different bait shops, man. It's really important with everything that happened this last year that we support these guys. I mean, they took a hit, and you know, things aren't the way they were back then, and everybody's still having a hard time getting tackle and stock in their store. So we need to support these guys as much as we can. So I'm looking forward to the derby season. You know, Rob touched on the divisions that we have, the Masters and Open. And when you first join the club, you're going to start in the Open division, and you have to get, I believe I think it's 10, right?
Points to move up.
10 points to move up into the Masters division.
Correct.
Yeah. So at the end of the year, whoever wins the division, first, second, third, they get a coat with a walleye that's either gold, silver, bronze, depends on what place that you finish in, and then along with the master division as well. First through third, you get a coat with the walleye that the colors you placed. The color walleye is going to be what you placed at the in the year, and then we give away Angler of the Year trophy that's both divisions combined. Who has the most points gets Lake St. Clair Walleye Association Angler of the Year. And then we also do the big fish overall. And this year we've changed some things, and the big fish is going to be May through August. So if you can stick a good one in April, it doesn't count. It's going to be May through August. And then the club gets that mounted, and we present that to you at the awards banquet, usually in Christmas time. So,
yeah. And just to clarify the intent of that, the reason why the Derby committee decided on that is we want to maximize the chance that the big fish for the entire season comes out of Lake St. Clair. That's our namesake as a club, and we want to make sure, if possible, that fish comes out of the lake. So definitely that way, it helps increase the probability of that. And we'd love to see the fish come out of the lake. So if you do get the big fish, club pays for it, and we present it for you. So just another cool opportunity. You might get a wall hanger and more memories to go with that.
And honestly, it's going to make it more fun too, because it's going to change. It could change every month. Where your chances in April, someone sticks a 9-pounder, 10-pounder. It's kind of like, can you get those in Lake St. Clair? Absolutely, you can.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do it May through August, I mean, it can change. It could change every month. Someone could get a good one on Friday, for the Derby, and then get bumped out on Sunday.
Absolutely.
It's going to make it more interesting, and you hear guys talking, club members talking, so-and-so, so-and-so got one on Saturday. That was, 5.5 or 6 pounds. And Sunday you go out, you get a 7-pounder, and then you go to the weigh-in and it's like, oh man, that guy's got an 8-pounder or whatever, so they're fun. I enjoy them. It's good. We have a good time, man.
Mm-hmm. I think some people may be disappointed, or they won't say it out loud, that we're not going to allow the big fish to be mounted from an April fish. And let me just offer you some encouragement, or perhaps a different perspective on that. I mean, if you think the biggest fish can come in April, which it can, we'll talk back maybe, I don't know, 6 years, could be more. But my old man, my dad, threw a Hail Mary, and he stuck on almost 9-pounder out of the main lake hand lining. So it can happen in the fall. It can happen early in the spring. I mean, you heard about what Eric's daughter got in May last year. So anything can happen. So we'd love to see a fish come out of St. Clair, and we're absolutely excited about it. Kind of shifting gears. So we have the Derby stuff going on. We have more seminars going on. We've touched a little bit about May Madness. I want to talk to you, Jeff, about some of the things you've been doing on the off season to prepare yourself for the upcoming season, fishing derbies. I know you plan on fishing all of the derbies you can, and some of the tournament stuff that you've been doing is going to be changed up a little bit and focusing more on like the 1-day shootout type events. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what your plans are for the tournament season, and also chat about what you're doing to gear up in terms of getting baits ready, your rod set up for when the time that there's no more ice and salt, that you pull that Ranger out of winterization, you put it to work. So what are the things you're doing right now?
Well, right now, yesterday I was going through all my jig and stuff. I was putting all my jigs in order, and by color and by weight, just trying to scratch that itch a little bit. And I got a couple Fat Boy jigs that I got sent over to me, some super secret colors, and I got all the way all nice and neat and everything like that. You got to have everything nice and neat before the season starts, because after that first trip, it's all gonna be scattered all over the place anyway. So I've been going through my jig and stuff and going through my plastics, organizing everything, getting my stingers, just getting an inventory of everything, respooling rods, going through, making sure my reels are all ready to go, and taking care of that jig and stuff. But then on the other hand, I've been going through all my hand line and stuff, because as well as I do that in the springtime, when that river is a little bit murky, I'm not jigging. You're not jigging. A lot of guys aren't jigging or be pulling some wires. So I've been going through those baits, checking those hooks, making sure all the wires are straight and everything, and going through my hand line reels, and just putzing around with stuff, man. I just going stir crazy a little bit. We can't get on the ice. I mean, you can, but I mean, I'm no ice right now, safe ice in my eyes. So just been keeping busy in the garage, and I got some new jigging rods I want to try out this year. I got a good friend of mine that spoke highly of these Llama Glass Assassins, and I got a couple of those I want to try out this year, and see how well they perform. I've heard nothing but great things about lamb glass, so I'm really excited to try that though.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, just I haven't even gotten to the trolling stuff yet. I mean, I got some reels going out for repair soon. Just some general maintenance on those. I want to be tuned up. My goal in the off season is just to get tuned up, everything gone through, get the maintenance going. That way we don't have any issues. I don't have any issues in the summertime or when I'm out on a tournament. And if something breaks in the summertime, it's on me because I was too lazy and I didn't take care of it in the off season. So
Sure.
I don't want to blame anybody else but myself if that's the way it goes. So, and as far as the tournament season goes this year, you're right. I'm going to focus on more of the 1-day stuff, the May Madness, the Doc Harpum. I really was looking forward to the Walleye Extravaganza up in Alpena in July, but some things happened. They had to cancel that event, so I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to go up and fish the 2-day Night Eyes tournament that Thunder Bay Walleye Club puts on. And if you have not fished Thunder Bay at night, I'll tell you what, I did it last year for the first time, and I will never miss that tournament again. It is absolutely great out there. There's some huge walleyes out there, and the night bite is phenomenal in Thunder Bay. So I'm really looking forward to that. Awesome. And just focusing on the Derby stuff. I really want to focus on the derbies, man. I just really enjoy being around the club, man. I really enjoy all the people in the club. You know, I can't say nothing bad about any of them, man. They're great people, and I just want to see them derbies do really, really well. So
yeah,
that's pretty much it, man. Just taking it 1 day at a time and just trying to do my best. So
good. Yeah, I think those are all good things. I think 2021 kind of has everyone kind of reassessing what their goals are. And I think the most important thing is and this is just me talking out loud, but I think the most important thing is connecting with good people, taking care of your friends, and having good time with the people that you're close with, that you trust. And that's certainly what the club is to me. So that's just, I mean, you may find your community somewhere else with a different group of anglers and other places, but I guess what I'm getting at is that as this next season comes up here, be surrounded by people that are positive, that encourage you and uplift you to help you do better things. And I think that's one thing the world really needs more of, is people that are positive and encouraging rather than cynical or criticizing people. There's no shortage of that in the fishing world. And I think that what sets good people apart from maybe bad apples is their attitude and mindset to bring other people up and help people learn. So, don't judge a book by the cover. What I mean by that is get to know people and do more listening than talking. And if you can help someone out by showing them some things or getting them on the water, man, that'll make a huge difference in their life.
Yes.
So I'm going to get off my soapbox for a minute, but I'll talk a little bit about some of the things I've been doing for preseason prep. And I might stop and take some water because I'm a little congested. I haven't really left the home much, but I got a little cold. I don't think it's Rona, so all's good here. But so earlier in the season, I calibrate all of my reels. I personally run Daiwa Sea-Line reels. I calibrated all of my stuff. There's tons of resources online how to do that. You can go on Fishing 411's YouTube page. Number of other resources. There's written articles how to do that, but I calibrate every single one of my reels. Next, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty and tear stuff apart. There's definitely more people qualified than myself, but I'll break down my reels by accessing the screws on the side, take the shells off, lubricate stuff with, I usually use sewing machine oil. I know it's kind of light, but it does a good job coating everything so I can keep everything lubricated and my reels operate smoothly. If there's any cosmetic stuff, like on the impact resistant plastic or the anodized aluminum on the sides, I can kind of clean that up with a magic eraser, a little trick I do. I've been tying a lot of stingers, and I really do love to jig. I love to hand line. Tip I can give to people that are listening that are maybe just getting into the hand line stuff is go through all your Rapala hooks. They're really light wire. They can get bent pretty easy. And sometimes, I mean, any hook, you catch enough fish or you dig into the bottom too much, you're going to lose some of the sharpness. So get with a fine file and kind of work the tip if you got some extra time and file it down to a fine point so it sticks on your thumbnail and it'll start to drag. Just some of the things I do. As spring gets closer, Jeff talked about being organized. He's got things organized by color and weight class. And some of the things I like to do is start taking inventory on my plastics. And I'm a big scent guy myself, especially early season. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some things that I'm passionate about. And the first and foremost is Michigan based companies that help out. So I have no relationship with Wyandotte Lure, but I mean, it's a Michigan company. You find these green packs. They make some really cool colors here. And I'll show you a couple things that are pretty neat. The Wyandotte Worm, that's a classic. This is the original one. They do a dual color one. I think they call this Golden Goby.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I seen that.
yeah.
It looks good.
So just guys to keep in mind. I mean, there's the big brands in there. I encourage you to support the Michigan companies if you can. Um, everyone knows a split tail minnow is going to catch walleyes, especially in the transition times where the water temperatures move up a little bit. The chartreuse, June bugs, always good. What I like about the Motown minnows that they make is if I can get this up to the camera, people that are watching the video version of the podcast, the tip's already cut off. So I don't have to bite or cut anything off. It'll slip more
Yeah.
evenly on the sex collar or the jig. Makes things a lot easier. And I found that the plastic's just a little bit tougher than some of the other stuff that I've used personally, but it's still soft and supple enough. The other profile I'm excited about is the Great Lakes Goby, kind of
Oh
a
yeah.
hybrid between a split tail minnow, but with a paddle tail of like something you would see on a Wyandotte worm. So interesting profile, something a little bit different. I think you can work it from different sides. What I mean by that is maybe more like the traditional Goby profile, or you can run it on the side with a jig. But
I ran that. Sorry to cut you off. I
it's
got
all
my
good.
hands on some of those in the fall, October, November. I was jigging the Upper Detroit River,
Mhm.
and I put that thing next to the boat, and I was jigging it so I could see what it looks like. That thing really darts off it
Hmm.
different ways. I think it's because it's so flat on the bottom, and
Yeah,
that
I'll
tail
show
kind of
that
acts
on the
like a little
camera.
rudder. If you rip that thing up, it'll dart. If you rip it back up, it'll dart. I mean, I'm really excited to use those during the spring run this year, especially on the St. Clair River.
Yeah,
So yeah, they got
plenty.
some great colors, man. They got some great colors. If you had to pick your top three Wyandotte worm colors, what would they be?
Hmm. Okay, well, it's no secret. Anyone knows this. Black Wyandotte worm, brown Wyandotte worm. I'm getting really creative, and if it's clean and sunny out, a blue ice Wyandotte worm. Um,
Blue ice Wyandotte worm.
yeah,
Nice.
kind of harder to find, but some guys pour
Yeah.
them. I'm pretty sure Motown Minnow does Wyandotte Lure LLC. Um, But the cool thing about some of these smaller companies, they pour more exclusive stuff based on angler feedback. So what I'm getting at is that you can find some more unique colors from companies that specifically pour for our fisheries. And whatever that company may be, I encourage you to buy Michigan made if you can. So just wanted to give them a shout out. Like I said, I don't have a relationship with the company, but I find their stuff to be pretty cool. And I've jigged it in the fall when I had opportunities to do that in the Detroit River. And I cracked plenty of good fish, even up to 5 pounds. And I'll take that. I wasn't necessarily big fish hunting, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So, Jeff, I know right now I'm going to take a sip of water, but I'd like to hear a little bit about some of the things that you're getting ready for in terms of maybe your crankbait stuff. I know that you've been working with JT Custom Tackle for a long time, and it's no secret that their baits do
Oh
some
yeah.
damage. And it's a Michigan-based company. Kind of why I'm on that track. Love to hear about some of the things that you're excited about from what they have coming down the pipeline for 21.
I'll tell you what, man. I've been with JT Custom Tackle for a while, and I'm very proud to be on that staff. Proud to ask to be on that staff and represent that brand. With that being said, um, this year for 2021, myself, my fishing partner and best friend Eric Lenz, we came up with a color, and we ran it for a couple years, and we did really good on it. It's not crazy. It's a chrome based bait. It's got some perch stripes on it. And some gold, orange belly. We all know
Mhm.
orange belly and gold's hot. And
Mhm.
so we did good on it. We gave a report back. And they with it. So for 2021, we got the Meach Perch Bandit,
Sweet.
and they got them in flickers, and they're gonna have them in Husky Jerks as well, I believe. So, like I said, it's just got that gold transition to that chrome.
Mhm.
It's got the black perch stripes on there, black head. got the red throat and the orange belly. So we ran this on St. Clair all the way up to Alpena, Harbor Beach, Port Austin, Lake Erie, and everywhere we went, it's done really, really well. So, and with that being said, too, JT Custom Tackle has also been a sponsor of the May Madness Walleye Tournament. And what they do is they make a one-off color for the event. And I know 2 years ago we had a color, JT Custom Tackle had a color come out. That thing was just, I lights out. It was everywhere we went. It was a good producer. So looking forward to see what they have for the 2021 event as well. And there's a lot of good things coming out from JT Custom Tackle. So keep your eyes looking out at your local bait shop for all their baits, all their custom painted baits. They do everything, like I said, from Husky Jerk 14s. They got awesome spinner blades. They go all the way down to size 3. They got the small stuff to the big stuff. So there's a lot of great stuff coming out from JT Custom Tackle. Be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. Wanted to ask you if you can tell me what is the story behind the name of Meech Perch. I'm just curious, and I've seen that from your dad. There's got to be some kind of reason or history on the name.
Oh man, it's awesome. You know, we're on the boat. Me and Eric, man, we listen to some rap music once in a while. So there's a rapper by the name of Big Meech, and he was kind of like a I don't know, boss or whatever. So it's just he's in charge of everything, man. And this bait was just doing good, and we're like, yeah, that's the Meech, man. You know, that's
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 awesome.
big. You know, that's Big Meech, the Big Meech Bandit, the Meech Perch had the stripes on it. So we were just goofing around and making fun and stuff like that. So the name stuck, and we just
Great.
25 back on the Meech. So everybody knows as the Meech Perch now. We just the name stuck. So I mean, I don't know. We just like to have fun and goof around with names and stuff.
Absolutely.
So, us. We always like to have a good time out there.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've talked about a couple things. I mean, we've talked about spring fishing opportunities, some of the club business, the tournament stuff that we have going on through May Madness, and you asked me about some of my favorite colors in plastics, and I know you jig when you have to. I know you love the hand line though. If you had to pick your top 3 colors, I don't care if it's a split tail minnow or Wyandotte, what's your go-to?
I think they're different for split tails and Wyandottes. Black, brown, and a June bug. And then my top 3 fork-tail minnows would have to be chartreuse ice, green shad flash, and root beer shiner.
Okay.
It's all over they're all over the place. I mean, I don't know. Those colors are all over the place, but I mean, a staple is black and brown Wyandotte worm. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and here's the thing. I mean, the stuff that Jeff and I are sharing, this is just our opinion based on our experience in fishing. And your mileage may vary, but definitely try some different colors. Early season, I'm a big believer in scents. I know in the past I've used more oil-based scents, and I have to recharge the stuff quite often. So probably the last couple years, I switched to ProCure stuff, and specifically the Pro. I think they call it a super gel. I actually got a couple that I know that work pretty well, but use this trophy walleye stuff, and that's consistent. You can put it on your crankbaits too. And then I got the gizzard shad early in Detroit River. That's a good one as well. What I like about it is it stays put, and I find that I don't have to recharge baits to get the scents. It's no secret that when we touch our baits, plastics or crankbaits, we deposit L-sarin from our hands, and the fish can smell a human scent. There's studies done on salmon where they can detect in parts per million human scent in the river. You could probably look that up. I think it was done somewhere in Ontario or somewhere in Canada. But particularly in cold water, scents are really important. And I'm not here to preach or tell you what to do. I mean, if you want scent, you can put a minnow on there because obviously they have scent. But that's been a huge part of my game for jigging, and a tougher bite is using scents. In the past, I used oil-based stuff like kicking walleye. That's a good thing. It's always done well for me, but I've kind of branched out running the gel stuff because it doesn't discolor my baits when I marinate them in it, if I choose to do that, and it just stays on there longer. So it gives me more confidence now to recharge stuff. Jeff, I know you use scents on cranks and other things, but
I do.
chat
Yeah.
a little bit about some of the things that you use scents on. And I'm more of like an early season believer where it can help maybe get me 1 or 2 more bites. What are your go-to scents?
I use that Procure. I use the Emerald Shiner in the springtime when I'm jigging.
Mm-hmm.
I also use it in the summer when I'm trolling cranks. And what I usually do is I'll take a little bit of that scent and I'll squeeze it on my hands and I'll rub it on my fingers like this. That way, whatever I touch, I already got scent on my hands. That way, like you said, that when you were talking about, so I got this hook in this notebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. So I just put it on my hands. That way, everything I touch, it's already got the scent on it. The human scent's not there no more, So, I usually run them on my cranks in the summer. I'll run them on my spinner blades. Actually, I'll put a little bit in the back of the spinner blade, a little Nightcrawler scent on there, and I don't know. I think it helps.
Yeah.
When the bite's tough, why not? I mean, if nothing else working, and you put that on, it starts working. You got nothing to lose. So I'm a believer in them. Big believer in them.
So here's what's funny. And then I won't go too much into the topic of scents because there's other things I want to chat about. But for whatever reason, I like the stuff that's more like natural bait based. I find that works really well. But for whatever reason, early season Detroit River, I love Italian food, but also I find that the fish like garlic. So that kicking walleye stuff that I've used for years has a garlic scent, and I don't know what it is that walleyes like about that. But it has natural, oils in it. But this stuff, I'm going to start using the trophy walleyes blended up bait. But they also have like these garlic based ones too that still have the natural baits and oils. So something I'm going to try out. And hey, if it works, I'll definitely talk to people about it, hear about it on the podcast. But different tricks, scents can only help, especially when a bite is tough and especially in early season. So kind of looking forward to summertime. If you could encourage people to go check out Lake St. Clair, not necessarily big community areas, or I'm not asking you to burn any spots, but where would you encourage people to look to find just a good eating class fish? If you never fished Lake St. Clair, summertime, what would you encourage people to look for?
Oh man, I mean, just in the summertime, you can just drive around in your boat, watch your electronics, and just look for weeds. And if you like to pull spinners, just hit sporadic weed beds, pull spinners over them, and you're going to catch fish. You're going to catch great eater fish. Also, you can also go out to the channel. There's a shipping channel that runs all the way through Lake St. Clair. In the summertime, it's no secret that those fish sit on the edges of those channels or up on the flat, going up to the channels, and they load up there, and you can fill your live well with them, as good as well as I do. So I mean, you can go the whole length of the lake and you're going to catch fish. So I don't even think there's a bad spot on that lake that you're not going to catch any fish. I mean, just the place is loaded with bait, loaded with weeds. So I mean, just look for your weed beds, go fish a channel, and you'll load up your live well. You're going to have a great day. Going to make some memories, and simple, right?
Absolutely. One of the neat things about Lake St. Clair is that it's abundant in bait and abundant in a variety of species. So even if you're not catching walleyes, there's a good chance you might run into a big smallmouth or some perch or rock bass. So if you're just looking for a lake to access and have a great time fishing, and pick your times. I mean, it gets busy during the afternoon in the summer. May, it's a little bit quieter. You don't have as much of the recreational boaters, but we're all out there to share it and be respectful to one another. But it is literally loaded. So I just encourage people, if you want to check out something neat and a little bit different, if you haven't fished St. Clair, I highly recommend you check it out. Most people are pretty friendly.
You can do everything out there. You can bottom bounce. You can pull inline boards, inline weights. You can pull cranks. You can cast. You can do everything. Anything out there you're gonna catch. You're just gonna catch fish, not necessarily just walleye. You're gonna catch, like Rob said, world class smallmouth, world class muskie. You're gonna catch everything. So you're gonna have a great time.
Absolutely. So when do you think that you'll have your boat unwinterized from Rose and back in your driveway ready to go?
I'm hoping to get out end of March, end of this month. I'm hoping, if the weather holds and it stays warm, I'm hoping to get down in Erie on some big hens before I go to the river for the year. Usually call it the break-in time. Me and a
Yep.
couple other buddies go down there and we take advantage of trolling those cranks super slow in that cold water and catching some really, really nice walleyes. So I look forward to that every year. So I'm hoping by the end of the month. I mean, if not, if the weather stays cold or we can't get out, then I'll just keep waiting. But
Mhm.
it's so close. It's so close. I can't wait to get the boat back out.
And it's more of a tease because the weather's warmed up significantly here in the Detroit area.
It is.
Before we set up this podcast, Jeff, you talked about turning the table and asking me some questions. So if you want to put me on the hot seat to answer any questions I can do to help anglers or just talk about what the club has going on, feel free. So I'm going to give you the mic digitally. And if
All
you got
right.
questions, go ahead and ask and I'll do my best to answer them.
A couple people might have seen you earlier this year on an episode of Fishing 411 with Jake Romanek. So I wanted to ask you how was that all how was that for you? Was that something new for you to do? So maybe you
Yeah.
can talk about that a little bit and how you enjoy your time out there. Do you enjoy your time? And I mean, you got to fish with one of the best. So I mean, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So we're really excited this year to be partnered with Fishing 411 TV. And the purpose of us getting connected with Fishing 411 is to get more people exposed to the lake. And, Lake St. Clair isn't some kind of secret, elusive, private thing. I mean, geez, it's in the backyard of Detroit and one of the biggest population areas in the state of Michigan. And no secret, it's an incredible walleye fishery. So the purpose of us getting out, so we went out in November while most people had deer hunting and the rut on the mind to go fish Lake St. Clair. And we targeted an area, and there's numerous areas where you can catch these roaming fish. It's not just all located in one area. So um, I respectfully disagree if someone thinks that we're burning spots by doing a TV show. It's a commonly known area, and you can
Yep.
find fish all over the Michigan side on the shore. So we went out and my dad and I pre-fished to find a good consistent bite for before I got the guys out there and we could put together something. Um, you know, One of the problems with Lake St. Clair, particularly in the fall, and I'll even say it for like spring and summer, is access. Access is extremely limited. We have some good accesses from the DNR side on the northwest corner, but once you get towards the south end of Lake St. Clair or the north end of the Detroit River, frankly, it's atrocious. I mean, there's some really good private launches that you can get access to, but in no way does it have the capacity to support how good the fishery is. And newsflash, it's probably one of the last places to freeze in the Great Lakes connecting waterways because there's so much current. So when you
Yes.
have a perfect storm of being the one last place to freeze, an incredible bite, and then just people that are itching to get out in cabin fever because they've been stuck inside social distance an entire year, you're gonna have issues. So to address that concern, our club has partnered with Michigan United Conservation Clubs to engage the Michigan DNR about expanding access opportunities. So that's kind of a tangent, but getting back to your main point, we want more people to check out the lake because it's awesome year round. So Jake and I went out there and we put together a crankbait program to kind of highlight the different ways to catch them. It's no secret that cranks catch fish year round. And a couple unique things that you can do is run the hand lining style baits that you use in the spring or fall, like a Rapala F11, and get them down close to the bottom where these fish are kind of glued to the bottom and feeding. Put it right in their face and get some good quality fish. What I found is that when you are passionate about something and you surround yourself with like-minded people, great things happen. And the whole time, I mean, we put that episode together in maybe 4 hours, but typically talking to Jake and those guys is unheard of. Typically they have a multiple day shoot to put things together, but everything came together. I thank God for it because we had the bites that we needed and things to talk about to help people learn the fishery. So honestly, it was my first time ever being on any sort of TV show. It's not something I asked for, but the opportunity presented itself. And my aim being on that show is to help people learn the fishery. And honestly, it was probably one of the better days of my life. And what I mean by that is that I got to fish with a good person and someone that I consider a friend. In the I guess I was on cloud nine because literally the day before I found out that my wife and I are pregnant with our little girl. So we've got a baby girl on the way in July, and I'm really excited about that. But
Congratulations, man.
thanks, man. I literally the day before the filming, she told me, and I was just on cloud nine. And then I'm like, man, I get to go fish with one of my friends. We're gonna have
Yep.
fun. We knocked it out and had a great time. And I think April 1st, 2021 is when the episodes that are typically aired in the first quarter on Sportsman's Channel, and Outdoor Channel are posted on YouTube. So if you go on Fishing 411's
Perfect.
YouTube page, you'll be able to access all of their episodes for this season. I highly encourage you to check it out. You might learn something new. And one thing they do is their education focus. They're going to help people learn how to use offshore boards more efficiently, or just in general, the who, when, where, and what of getting in on a good bite anywhere in the Midwest in this country and even Canada for that. So, yeah, it was an awesome opportunity. And I hope you guys check it out. It showcases our club and what we're about better than I could put into words. It also shows you how to catch some fish on St. Clair.
He did a great job, man. You did a
Thanks,
great
brother.
job representing the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association. And you're not kidding. That show is so informative, man. You learn so much. They just don't stop teaching. And they're great people, like you said. Me talk to them in person, and they're kind people, every single one of them. So
Mhm.
I'm really glad that our club is teamed up with Fishing 401 and the Romanex. I think it's a great match, and I'm looking forward to the future with those guys as well. So,
Agreed.
and I also wanted to. Your dad got a new boat last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he got a
any 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 fun stuff? Any fun stuff going on with the DB3?
yeah. So my dad got himself his retirement boat. He's always he's always wanted a Ranger, and he finally got his 620 VS that he's always wanted. He always wanted Yamaha powered. And let me tell you a story about that boat. It was sold out from underneath him. It was such a good price. Um, and then the guy that was going to buy it was someone in Minnesota. I don't know the dude, but he decided that he wasn't going to do it or wrote a bad check or something. Literally a few days after we had that sold out from underneath us, we were bummed out. The gentleman who in the Grand Rapids area gives us a call and say, "Hey, this deal fell through. If you want it, you have first crack." My dad went went to the bank, and like that, he just went out and said, "Rob, we got to go. We got to go." So he didn't let that boat get away a second time. I'm so happy for him, and he's rigged it the way he's wanted to. He's got the latest Lowrance electronics in it, and he's slowly, incrementally upgrading it to what he wants it to be. Um, tell you what, it's been
Yeah.
nothing but family memories with him and I going out there. And when my son and my daughter, when she's here, when they're all bigger and can do that, we're all going to be able to enjoy that together. And it's just so cool to see someone you love and care about work hard and achieve their dreams and be able to enjoy what they do in the rig they want. So I'm just so happy for him, and he got a screaming deal on it and exactly the way he wanted it. And then the little things he's been tweaking as it goes. And tell you what, we had an incident when we were fishing on Lake Erie, and we had a lower unit failure due to a fishing line being wrapped inside and damaged the front seal on the lower unit. So water intruded there, and there was no oil to cool things off. So we had a failure in the middle of Lake Erie, just south of Kelly's Island, and I had to limp that thing in on the kicker. I was safe the whole time in that boat.
Mhm.
But he Worldwide Marine Insurance, that's who insures his boat. They took care of it. It impacted something at one point where we were running and had a line wrapped on it, and he had a brand new lower unit. So he's getting ready to put that on here, and he's really excited to get that rigged up and ready to go for the 2021 season. So yeah, it's just really cool. I've had a lot of fun running that with him, and big difference from the big tall ones
DB2.
that we used in the past. Yeah, DB2, man. She had a really
Yeah.
unique sound. Everyone can hear us coming. We weren't
I
coming
miss
low.
DB2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, we've always been outgunned in terms of getting to where we need to in a quick matter. But hey, we still have fun, and it's never slowed us down. We still competed, and heck, we've done pretty well in those older boats. But now he's got his dream boat,
Yep.
so it's just
It's
really
great,
cool.
man. I see you guys out there when we just got it. I seen you guys out there for that derby, and you guys were happy. You guys were happy. He was just so happy to be out there. It was just great, man.
Mhm.
It's well deserved. So I
Yeah.
want to ask you. I want to ask you something else too. You fished a couple national walleye tour events, and you got a good team of guys that you travel with. Why don't you talk about that a little bit? What's it like on the co-angler side? Is it I know I hear everybody talking about how great it is, and just
Mhm.
maybe you can touch on it a little bit, how much you learn with those guys and how it's like the next. It's just I fished one event and it was my mind was blown, So just maybe you can touch on that a little bit, how it is fishing the co-angler side of the National Walleye Tour.
Yeah. So if anyone wants to speed up the learning curve of their walleye fishing, I highly recommend you fish a co-angler side in like a pro-am type tournament. National Walleye Tour comes to mind. I wasn't able to fish every single event the past few years with those guys, but when I can, I fish some. There's a few I just simply couldn't make it in terms of getting paired with a pro. So I went out there anyways just to go pre-fish with the guys and help them out. Let me tell you what you do learn. For one, you make incredible connections. So if you can fish these pro am events, try to get out there a few days and partner up with people that are looking for coves to fish with. When you're in the boat of someone that does this at that level, you learn exponentially more than you ever would by just fishing by yourself or with a couple buddies. There's things that guys from Ohio do different, Minnesota, Wisconsin. And when you're in these different boats during the events, if you pay attention and you have an open mind, you'll absorb and learn all of it. Some of it may not always be applicable to your home body of water, but you'll learn some tricks that'll set you up for success in different bodies of water. For instance, I learned how to properly pitch jigs in a current situation with ultralight jigs, something that they probably do on the Mississippi River more often. In fact, I know that for a fact that's what they do. And by learning how to do that properly, I was able to take that technique and run it on Lake St. Clair, and in particular, Belleville Lake, which is an inland lake in southeastern Michigan, where there's a lot of current pitching light quarter ounce, even lighter bait, uh, live bait jigs, and pound
Mhm.
fish. Um, and after fishing with guys that have been doing it for a while and at a high level, you learn how to be more efficient. Some things I'll talk about in my seminar is how to set boards out more efficiently. And while you have multiple things going on, some little cues you can do audially and visually to see if you got a bite. Um, we'll talk about the mindset of the way people do things. And I'm by no means am I considering myself a professional. I fished on the amateur side, the co-side of a national walleye tour for a few events. But what I can do is share knowledge and what it looks like to become more efficient and why some guys feed boards back when you get a bite on a spinner, which is live bait, versus some folks that just let it set and the board sink and hook themselves. So we'll touch base a little bit about the theory on why things are done. But in general, if you can take some time off, free fish with some guys that have been doing it for a while, you will be surprised with how much you will learn in terms of trolling more efficiently, casting, finding where fish are, and dissecting a body of water. And you'll make lifelong friends. So I just want to thank my buddies have let me fish with them before. Robert Cardenas, Drake Hurd, Mike Olson, and one of my good friends, Ed Stahusky here in Michigan. I haven't practiced with him during NWTs, but we stay in touch. We fish together. And man, there's such great people out there. Oh, and Randy Gaines. I spent a week in his boat this summer on the St. Mary's River. And if you have good friends and you're willing to put in the work and help these guys dial in a bite, you will learn so much. You'll gain lifelong friends.
Yep, absolutely. When you surround yourself with these people, it's amazing how you feel. You feel 10 feet tall and bulletproof. And
Yeah.
it's just a different feeling when you surround yourself with these like-minded people, man.
Yeah,
So,
it's about people
um,
that lift you up rather than take you down.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and I
They,
think you and I are the same when it comes to this. We view the people's opinions that matter are those that care about you and that are going to help build you up as a person and encourage you to take steps out of your comfort zone. So basically, moving you out from a place of complacency and being critical of everyone to be someone who's taking action and they're growing themselves as people and also anglers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, I want to ask you what is your outlook on the Derby season this year for 2021? What are you looking to accomplish?
Man, I'm going to be honest. I used to fish in the Masters division and I moved down to open and I don't even care. It's time for me to connect with my dad and have fun. If I stick a big fish, great. I might get some points. At the end of the day, if I can make a weigh in, I see my buddies have a good time and smiling and learn something, I won in my
Yeah.
mind. I mean, I find myself being more competitive in the tournaments like May Madness and Michigan Walleye Tour events and stuff like that. But my mindset is just have fun and talk to people.
Yeah.
Man, it's been so cool. Like the fall series, we have had guys like our friend Lee Gould come from the center of the state, come fish
Yeah.
these derbies, and it is so cool to see people from coming outside of areas to come check out how great the fishery is. Um,
Yep.
I just like connecting with people. If I can get a good fish, great. I got no ego in it. I just want to have fun and connect with people.
That's it.
So that's
You
that's
guys,
just me.
yeah, I know you fish with your dad, and Eric fishes with his dad, Gary. You guys are lucky, man. You guys are so lucky you get to fish with your dad. And I
Thank
wish I
you.
could fish with my dad right now. I wish he was well enough where I could get him out on the boat and we could fish these derbies together. He's a member of the club. I can't get him out there. So um yeah, take it all in, man. You guys are super lucky.
Thank
So
you.
heck yeah. That's all I got for you, sir.
Awesome. Well,
Hope I didn't
I,
drill you too bad.
no, it was great, man. I love talking. And I apologize to the audience that's watching or listening in. Like I said, I'm a little congested, but hopefully the water breaks and stuff hasn't been too distracting. But hey,
Yep.
we're looking forward to a great season in 2021 for as a club, getting more people. The club is sitting at over 350 members, so we're growing even during a
Yes.
pandemic. And we put out newsletters for people to take a look at, and we have this podcast going on here. And with me being pretty busy and having a young family, I won't promise that I'll have a monthly episode. I'll do my best, but what I can promise you is at least 6 episodes, probably more, but we'll find out. So, um, I'm looking forward to talking with more people. So, at the podcast, we're going to talk with local anglers, club members like Jeff. We have tournament pros. We have guys that have been in the fishing industry and marine industries for a long time. And the podcast continues to grow, and it's just another way to connect with people and learn a little bit more about fishing in general, all things walleye fishing. um, Me personally, I'm focusing on the derbies. I'm going to fish some 1 day events. I might fish the Detroit River Michigan Walleye Tour. I'm kind of up in the air, just not
Yeah.
feeling
Same here.
much. Nothing against anything. I don't know. I might just do 1 day events. And I just kind of want to focus on what makes me happy. I'm making some big changes. I recently completed my charter training from Great Lakes Charter Training. Uh, so now I'm a Coast Guard licensed captain. I'll probably run some part-time
Awesome.
trips. So if people want to learn the fishery, I'd be happy to take you out. Uh, as long as everything goes right and there's no no kind of crazy things like civil unrest. Not that I wish that. I'll have a new boat here really soon, so I'm with Starcraft Marine. I'll have a Yamaha powered STX 2050 in the driveway probably when I get
Nice.
back from Florida. So really looking forward to that and getting some time on the water and getting family and friends out there and helping people learn fishing. Other than that, man, the future looks good in terms of fishing in Michigan and across the country for walleye. Um, Big changes in walleye fishing on the tournament level with the National Walleye Tour having one more event. You got the head-to-head live MLF style fishing, and you can
Yep.
see exactly what's going on, how these guys are catching fish, and it's a totally different format. So if you're into fishing, there's a ton of content out there. Um,
Tons.
yeah,
A
so
lot.
I just want to encourage everyone that's listening and leave you with one final thought. If you could do one thing to help better and improve yourself, um, dream some dreams. Think of where you want to be in terms of fishing and in life and make it happen. Don't sit back um, and criticize others. Focus on what you want to do and achieve and making more of a positive impact to fishing, conservation, giving back to others. So that's what I'm closing on, man. That's what my friends are about, and
Have fun.
having fun. Absolutely. So I just want to wish everyone a great 2021 season. Jeff, man, it's been awesome having you on the show.
Thanks a lot for having me.
It's been a long time, man. You were on the first episode, and then we had a May Madness feature back 3 years ago. And
Yep.
now we're kind of bringing it full circle, talking about all
Yes, sir.
things fishing and nothing but good coming up ahead. So stay positive, people, and hope to see you all on the water. Jeff, any closing thoughts, my friend?
Everybody just be safe out there. Have a great year, and let's go fishing and have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. All right. So, on behalf of Walleye World Podcast and the Lake St. Clair Walleye Association, we want to thank you for tuning in. If you're sick, feel better soon.
Yep.
Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you on the water.